guys, welcome to YouTube Homework Helper. Tonight we're going to start talking about rounding to the tens, the hundredths, and the thousands. So let's take a look at our rounding chart that we have here in the front. I want you to pay close attention. Sometimes we're going to be rounding down, and sometimes we're going to be rounding up. So let's see how this is all done. Okay. So I see that it says to round 92 to the closest 10. I need to look over here at my place value. I see ones and I see tens. So as I think to myself, when I'm looking at this number, I can see that the nines is in the tens place. So I'm going to tell myself that that means that it'll either round to 90 or it's going to round to 100. When I think about what number comes in between 90 and 100, I realize that the number 95 comes in there. Then I ask myself, where does 92 come in? So if I'd say 91, 92, 93, 94, and then I get to my 95, here I can see that 92 is going to be much closer than 90. Look at how far it would have to go to make 100. It would have to be really far on the other side to be 100. Now, I also have another little strategy that I like to use. Not only do I want to show you on a number line today, but I want to show you this strategy also down below. So if you look over here, this is something that helps me with my strategy. First thing I want to do is count to the tens place. So I say ones, tens. I'm going to underline the tens place. Then I'm going to circle its helper. The 2 is its helper. Next, I'm going to do this little saying right over here. I usually pat my leg, but I say 0, 1, 2. When I get to the 2, I realize that that's giving direction to my tens place. This means that my 9 needs to stay put. And then notice how this is a 0 right there. This becomes a 0 as well. So I can see that 92 rounds to 90 as the closest 10, just like we saw up here on our number line. All right, I want you to go ahead and try this one. Round 86 to the closest 10. You can do it either way or both ways, and come on back and we'll check it together. Okay, I hope you had time to do that. First of all, I can see that I have got the tens place is my 8 right here in the tens place. So I realize that this has to be either between 80 or 90. So I have to figure out where. Well, I know that in between 80 and 90, I have 85 as my middle number there. All right, and if I were to count 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, I would see that 86 is located right here, and it's located on this half. So this tells me that it's going to be closer to 90. So I'm going to come down to the bottom, and now I'm going to try it that other way, where I said ones, tens. I circle the helper. The helper says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it says 5, 6. This tells me that I'm going to have to bump my number from an 8 all the way up to a 9, and I got 90. Did you get 90 also? Let's try the next one. Here I have 367, but this time I need to round it to the closest 100. So let's go over and look at my hundreds chart. I have ones, tens, hundreds. So it's going to be in this third place right there. So that tells me that this is going to be between 300 and 400. This middle part here is going to tell me that it's halfway between 300 and 400, which is 350. So now I'm going to go ahead and think about where would 367 be on my number line. If this is 50, I could say, you know what, I bet you this would probably be 360, 370, 380, 390, and 400. So 367 is going to be somewhere over here, which means that I am going to be closer to 400 than I am to 300 because 300 is pretty far away. Now let's try that other method that I've showed you that has my strategy with it. Step number 1, count over and find the hundreds place. So ones, tens, hundreds. Here's my hundreds place. I am going to circle the helper. The helper is a 6, so I'm remembering this right here. I do it on my lap. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tells me that I'm going to have to bump my 3 up. My 3 gets bumped up to 4. Everything behind it becomes 100. So it becomes zeros. So my 400s match there. All right, I would like for you to try this one. Pause the video, try it, come on back. Okay, let's see how you did. We're rounding 519 to the closest hundreds. So I see that 500 goes right here. My number is going to be between 500 and 600. In between here, I would have 550. That's that in-between space. All right. So as I'm looking here, I'd have maybe 510, 20, 30, 40, 50. So if I want 519, I have, this was 510, this is about 520. I would put it right somewhere right in there along my number line, and I can clearly see that that is going to be closer to 500 than it is way over here to 600. Let's try my strategy. 1's, 10's, hundreds. Circle its helper. 0, 1. The helper right here says stay where you're at, so it tells the 5 stay right where you're at. Everything else behind it becomes a 0, and it's closer to 500, just like we saw on the number line. All right, we're going to get trickier because we're moving up some numbers. Now I want you to round 6,581 to the closest 1,000. First of all, I see my thousands place here, and I'm remembering where my thousands place is over on my place value chart. So that means that my number is going to be somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000. All right, my halfway point is 6,500. All right, I have 6,581. So I can tell that I am going to be somewhere over in this side because it's past 6,500. So it's going to be closer to 7,000. Let's use my strategy. All right, first thing we do is we count over to the thousands place. 1's, 10's, hundreds, thousands. We underline the thousands place. We circle its helper. That's a 5. So I look over here and I say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to bump it up. As it bumps it up, it moves it to 7,000. And my two match. All right, time for you to try. Pause the video and come on back. Okay, here we go. We're rounding to the closest thousands. So I can see that this is either closest to 1,000 or it is closest to 2,000. I know that this is 1,500. I can tell that 1,700 means that I'm going to be on this side, which means it's closest to 2,000. All right, if you used my strategy, we did 1's, 10's, hundreds, thousands, circle the helper, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It bumps it up. It bumps it right up to 2,000. All right, we're getting trickier now. Round 746 to the closest 10. This is a brain stretcher. All right. So this time we're looking for the 10's place, so 1's, 2's. We need to go over 2 places. 1, 2, this is the 10's place. We're going to circle the helper. We're going to continue. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That bumps this up right here. It bumps it up to a 5. We bring up the 7, so we have 750. Do you see the one at the bottom? I want you to try that one. Pause it and come on back. Okay, here we go. You had to round to the closest 10 also. So 1's, 10's, we underline the 10's position, circle its neighbor or its helper. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to bump it up to 8. This becomes a 0 right here. 480. All right, now we're going to try something to the closest hundreds. Oh my goodness. Okay, I remember that I am looking to the hundreds, but I have 4 places here, so my hundreds is in the 3rd place. 1's, 10's, hundreds. I've got a 0. Get its helper. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to bump it. So it bumps it up. Now after 0, we bump up to a 1. So this all becomes zeros. I bring my 4 up. 4,100. All right, try the next one yourself. Here we go. Let's check it. 3,890 to the closest hundred. So remember the hundreds was at third place. Ones, tens, hundreds. Underline the helper. This is a 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bump it up. The 8 bumps up to a 9. The other two numbers become zeros. We bring our comma up, 3,900.